Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of In the School Parking Lot. I'm your host, Paul Everts. You can reach me at my email address, and I wish you would. BAND, the number 2, band together at Comcast.net. Also, go to our Hanson website, which is Conducting My Life, where you'll see conductingmylife.com, where you see I'm a speaker, trainer, coach, and I do that for the Maxwell team. Also, I'm an author. Buy our book, conductingmylife.com. There's no .com. Conducting My Life. Good high school band director stories, and it's I like it. It's a fun book. I'm doing this on the 24th of August. It's 10 minutes till 12 p.m. in beautiful Roseville, California. What is in the school parking lot? April 2021, I was told by the principal of the school that I was teaching at. Paul, I tell you this, gotta keep Jesus Christ in the parking lot. So, as I like to say, I went to the parking lot with Jesus Christ. And I resigned later that year. So my last day in the public school system was the 23rd of December 2021. Just to, I miss it. I miss being at band competitions. I miss my friends. Once I became more open with the idea that I believe in Jesus Christ and that I think there's things that need to be looked at in the public school system, those phone calls stopped coming. And that's okay. I'm not a victim because it's just a result of my choice to be who I am. And again, I've been who I am for 58 years. So I believed in Jesus Christ when you all loved me, when I was part of your NCBA and other things, and I still believe in Jesus Christ. And I'm still here for you. But for my new group, my new scholars, and I hope the scholars that I have are watching this and that their parents are watching this, because this is who I really am. This is my house. It's who I am. Okay, that was a nice 2-minute introduction. Let's get going. I read articles that are based on education. Again, this is, I'm doing this episode 29, posted on the 21st of September. And I think this is going to be an interesting one. Here we go. Ohio students don't have freedom of speech. Federal court rules in misgendering lawsuit. Here we go. Mike's, boo, boo, boo. The 6th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, ruled 2-1. The Olentangy, O-L-E-N, Tangy, T-A-N-G-Y, the Olentangy Local School District, OLSD. It's interesting they call it the local school district. That's fun. May enforce its discipline policy for students who misgender a classmate, even on a student's personal device. This is the United States. The policy requires students to use preferred pronouns or no pronouns at all when addressing transgender students. Failure to comply can result in suspension or even expulsion. My take, time for school choice. Okay? Then you have a choice, right? Then you have a choice. Back to the article. And Judge Jane Stranch's majority decision, July 29th, she rules the district can restrict a student's speech. District can restrict a student's speech if it deems that speech harmful or distracting to the educational process. My take. So we are already teaching students that the government can restrict your speech. We're teaching that to students, right? That's what we're saying here. So students are going to know the government can restrict your speech. That's what, I don't think the founding fathers, anyway. I'm going to keep going. It's not that much longer, frankly. Okay. The lawsuit filed by Parents Defending Education, PDE, which is funny, that's my initials, Paul David Everts, PDE. The lawsuit filed by Parents Defending Education in May 23 sought an injunction against the policy, alleging it violated students' First and 14th Amendment rights. So now what does Olentangy do? Let's take a look. Where are you, Olentangy? Come back here. Come on, Olentangy. Where are you? Oh, here you go. All right. And Olentangy's harassment policies show a deep contempt for the constitutional rights of its students and families, end of quote. That's from The PDE, Parents Defending Education Vice President Caroline Moore, said when the suit was filed, quote, public schools cannot force students to speak in a way that supports a viewpoint contrary to their deeply held beliefs, nor may schools follow students home to police their speech at all hours of the day on their personal devices. What was wrong with you people? This is not America. Okay, I'm going to show you another book we're going to work out of quickly. But, this quote now, quote, but Olentangy has enacted a series of overbroad anti-harassment policies under the guise of inclusivity that flout basic constitutional rights, both in and outside of the classroom. The court ruled PDE could not prove the policy amounted to quote-unquote viewpoint discrimination because it applied to quote-unquote harassment, misconduct, and other disruptive speech policy, harassment, misconduct, and other disruptive speech across a variety of categories. This is scary. So we're already teaching the kids that your speech is not free, it's limited. And the government's going to tell you how to speak. This is unhealthy. This is un-American. Okay? All right. Now, before we go to our book, I want to recommend another book to you. This book. Miles America, A Survivor's Warning, G. Van Fleet. Okay? One of the chapters, and I just literally got this book this week. I have it on audio. Let's see. So, cancel culture, war in the world, destruction of family, destruction of religion, making of the new man, ideological indoctrination. I'm not touching every chapter, but this is a book we're going to look at because she does a really super parts of a chapter on how education is being infiltrated and being attacked. So I definitely want to go over this, okay? But anyway, good book. Now the book that we are coming almost to a conclusion of, and I don't read every page of the book because I don't want these authors to get mad at me. So I read excerpts. If you're teaching, okay, I'm 58 years old. I'm still teaching at a charter school. If you're teaching, get this book. Get books that are challenging the education system so that you know what the other side's thinking about. You have been taught by your UC system, your CSU system, your liberal colleges one way of doing it. Fair enough. But they're not giving you both sides. Why not know both sides? So I'm encouraging all you younger teachers to look at the other side. Understand why parents are taking kids out of school. And then parents understand why you're taking your kids out of school. This is one person's viewpoint, two people actually. All right, I'm running out of time. Chapter 24, Big Brother's Data Collection System and the Road to Totalitarianism. Student Data Handbook. It's a quote from Student Data Handbook. To be effective, however, these systems must record data accurately and comparably for all students, in all places, and at all times. Big Brother wants to know just about everything on you and your kids. Soon it will. If there is any doubt in your mind that lurking in the bowels of the U.S. Department of Education, DOE, which should be abolished, that's my opinion, there are liberal utopian bureaucrats intent on changing free America into a totalitarian state. Didn't we just see that with the article? Telling kids how to speak? All you have to do is study and follow closely the inception and continued growth of the DOE's data gathering system on students and faculty. You will be convinced that what they are doing has nothing to do with education. Okay, that's the opening paragraph of the chapter. A couple other paragraphs. In Educating for the New World Order, author and educator whistleblower Beverly Eakman. Again, the book is Educating for the New World Order. Author Eakman, E-A-K-M-A-N, who has held numerous prominent positions in the federal government, explains that Orwellian database has been around for quite some time, known as the Elementary and Secondary Integrated Data System. The scheme is linked with all the other federal computer networks collecting data on American citizens. Another paragraph. Under assessment, we find the following types: 01 assessment test, 02 advanced placement test, 03 aptitude test, and 04 attitudinal test. Described as, quote, an assessment to measure the mental and emotional set or pattern of likes and dislikes or opinions held by a student or a group of students. This is often used in relation to considerations such as controversial issues or personal adjustments, end of quote. What kind of personal adjustments? Is that the proper concern of the federal government? Is this something you want the government, by the way, that you vote for, knowing about your children? What happens if the child's views on, say, marriage are politically incorrect? Let's go to the last paragraph. This is a thick chapter, but I went long. Okay, here we go. In fact, in 2007, the National Endowment for the Arts released a grim survey of the decline of literacy in America. There you go. Keep them stupid. Don't let them know how to read. According to the survey entitled Reading at Risk, this is 2007, more and more young Americans are reading less and less. The report's executive summary concluded, Reading at Risk presents a distressing but objective overview of national trends. The accelerating declines in literary reading among all demographic groups of American adults indicate an imminent culture crisis. The trends among younger students warrant special concern, suggesting that, unless some effective solution is found, literary culture and literacy in general will continue to worsen. Indeed, at the current rate of loss, literary reading as a leisure activity will virtually disappear in half a century. That's 50 years from now. They're not reading for leisure. Reading at Risk is testimony that a cultural legacy is disappearing, especially among younger people. 20 years ago, just after the NEA 1982 survey, the Landmark study, A Nation at Risk, warned that, quote, a rising tide of mediocrity, end of quote. This is the NEA. They're not doing that now. Rising tide of mediocrity had overtaken the school system and threatened a generation of students. You don't see the NEA doing that. The NEA is doing all these political things. Get politics out of the classroom. The report sparked a massive reform effort whose consequences are still evolving today. Reading at Risk reveals an equally dire situation, a culture at risk. The National Endowment for the Arts. Oh, well, I think the NEA doesn't refer to the union. I wouldn't think so. I think the NEA refers to the National Endowment of Arts. Sorry, NEA. Go ahead and keep doing your political thing. No, I hate things sick. Anyway, the National Endowment for Arts calls upon public agencies, cultural organizations, the press, and educators to take stock of the sliding literary condition of our country. It is time to inspire a nationwide renaissance of literary reading and bring the transformative power of literature into the lives of citizens. That was 2007. That was 17 years ago. That's that report. And then the authors go, as we now know, the decline of literacy in America was no accident. Instead, the decline of literacy is the result of a carefully planned program by John Dewey and his progressive colleagues to dumb down America. And what we also know now is that the ultimate aim of all of the centralized activities, a nationalized public school system in which schools are no longer controlled by local communities. There's lots going on in that chapter, and I went very long, so I apologize. Hey, there's a Venmo account. We'd love to have your financial support. Please press the like button. Also subscribe and share. Share it to the younger teachers, either ones that are starting to be teachers. I make total sense when I say, learn the other side. You've been given one side. Okay, God bless you and I love you. Sorry I went long.